Yes, hello. Let's adjust this camera as we do it live here. Good morning. How's it going, guys? So I got this like tripod set up in my car now. Fancy. Yes, hello. Fancy high-end production here. And in the car with Star Productions, Dave trying to do a venture. Good to be with you, everybody. I think I have it figured out now. Welcome to my car on this sunny but cold. My Ash Gregoire Chaume de Nissan thermostat tells me it's 6 degrees in Montreal today. Is summer coming? Like, is your pool ever going to be open? Are we going to be able to like put away the sweaters and the sweatshirts during the day? Maybe put the winter coat away? Like, it snowed a little bit yesterday. It rained all day. And at one point I looked out and I said, why? White devil? White devil? Why? Why are you here, white devil? Leave me alone, white devil, please. I'm done with the snow. I'm having a day today. I'm aggravated today. I'm having an aggravated day today. I just got cut off on the highway. This is one of my biggest pet peeves, you know. And with my girlfriend sometimes in the car, we don't fight or argue very much. I think I'm a very enjoyable person to live with. I'm funny. I'm entertaining. I'm unique. I'm all of those things. But sometimes in the car, like if we argue in our relationship, I'm going to say 9 out of every 10 times, it's because of something I did behind the wheel. Truth. And today was one of my biggest pet peeves. Today I'm leaving work. I jump on the Ville Marie. I'm going through the tunnel. This piece of garbage guy driving a Jetta decides to, and I see him coming, right? I think I'm very good at doing this. I think I'm very good at seeing drivers in the distance ahead of me, and I'm predicting what their moves are going to be. So I see this Jetta guy, right? And it's always people in shit boxes that drive recklessly and drive faster than what they should be driving at. And so this guy driving this shit box is in the far left lane, and I see him. He wants to move. He's trying to find an opening. Right? And sometimes there's a good reason. You know, you have somewhere to be. You're behind schedule, emergency. Who knows? Right? And I'm going to tell you that it wasn't an emergency. So I see him. He's cutting. And I'm in the far right-hand lane, and he's in the left-hand lane. And I see this asshole, and he is crossing, and he's driving fast, and I see his aggressiveness, right? But unfortunately for me, I try to slow down because I know what he's going to do. I know ultimately he's going to end up in front of me as I'm in the far right-hand lane. And now I see him. He moves over one lane, moves over another lane, cuts one car off. And this POS, he's not even using his blinkers, which is an issue in this province with our drivers, right? I digress. So now we're almost side by side. So he's like just ahead of me, and I'm kind of here, right? I am in the worst possible spot now. I am in his blind spot, okay? I'm in his blind spot. So now I really kind of ease off the accelerator, and now he's gonna cut off right in front of me, and he's about to hit me. And then I see him. He looks over his shoulder to his blind spot, and he sees me, and then he swerves back into his lane to avoid the collision, right? And then now I ease off because of this aggressive buffoon who now cuts in front of me again, turns on his blinker after he gets in front of me. So I'm a bit bothered by this. And like a lot of people, I need to get a look. I need to see who you are. Why are you a bad driver? Why are you so aggressive in your shit box? Why? I need to see who you are, right? And so now we're going to get off at university together. And now I know he's not an emergency because he's done all his lane changing. And now he's driving at a normal speed. Okay? So I look over to him. I look over in my window. I look over, and this is some old man wearing a hat, looks over to me, and this is what he does to me. Whoa. I want to lose my mind. When this guy, who is dangerous, driving without looking as he changes lanes and doing so at a rate of speed on a congested highway, and I see all his moves, and I'm the guy trying to be cautious. And he fucking tells me to slow down. Pump the brakes, slow down. I wanted to swerve my car and drive it into him. Sometimes I wish we were made of Nerf cars so I could drive my car into him. That's how bothered I am. That's how crazy I can get. This guy has enough balls, has enough lack of awareness to tell you. He's looking at me. He's like, whoa, 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 whoa. You're the guy cutting off 4 cars, almost causing accidents. And this is what happens in this province. People don't use their blinkers. People don't pay attention. We're all in this selfish, self-absorbed world. And I'm the idiot. I'm the asshole, right? My God. And yeah, it just drives me nuts. People's decisions and things they do. You know, and I'm guilty. I'm no perfect angel. I'm not here, sitting on some sort of high horse here. You know, I could be aggressive. I make bad decisions on the road all the time. But I tell you what, I'm fully capable of acknowledging when I've made a mistake. But chacun son goût, apparently, right? Well, congratulations, everybody. The Montreal Canadiens did something no team in the history of hockey has ever done before. Can you believe this? The Montreal Canadiens are, what are we, 2022, 1909, 113 years of hockey. 113 years of hockey. The Montreal Canadiens did something yesterday that no team in the history of the league has ever done before. They finished 32nd in the National Hockey League. No team has ever finished 32nd because Seattle, of course, was the 32nd franchise in the history of the National Hockey League. But the Montreal Canadiens, with their win last night in New York, putting to bed another long losing streak. They had lost 9 in a row before going to MSG and beating the Rangers 4-3. Jeff Petrie looks pretty good. That's back-to-back games now where Jeff Petrie has looked solid, scored twice, scored the game winner. And all of this to say that the Arizona Coyotes, who were trailing 3-0 to the Dallas Stars, came back and won the game in overtime, thus locking in the Montreal Canadiens to the 32nd spot in the National Hockey League entry draft, therefore giving them the likeliness of drafting first overall in July when the draft is here this summer. How awesome is that going to be? But you guys want the breakdown? This is how it breaks down because I see some conflicting numbers on Twitter. Frank Saravelli, formerly of TSN, kicked this around, got people confused. Let's make some corrections so everybody knows the mathematical odds of the Canadiens' draft choices in July, okay? There's a 25.5% chance that they draft number 1 overall. They get the first overall selection when the lottery balls are pulled from the machine. There's an 18.8% chance they end up with the 2nd overall pick. And the heavy majority, it's 55.7. You see, look here. Look, here, I'm going to give you an example. Roberto, 18.5%. Incorrect. That is an incorrect number. The Canadiens' odds of drafting first overall Roberto and everybody else, and I blame Frank Saravelli of this because he tweeted out 18.5%. That is wrong. 25.5% is the number. That is the percentage that the Canadiens will draft first overall. 55.7% likeliness to draft third overall. So in other words, there's a 75% chance the Canadiens do not draft number 1 this July and get Shane Wright. But look, unfortunately for the Canadiens, they picked, I'm not going to say the wrong year. Shane Wright should be a good player, but you know, he's not a generational talent. He's not Austin Matthews. He's not Connor McDavid. He's not Sidney Crosby. He's not Nate McKinnon. He's not those guys. So yeah, there is an element of bad luck here that the Canadiens kind of picked the wrong year to be the worst team in hockey. But nevertheless, they need to be bad again next year. They need to be bad again next year. So let me ask you guys, is the juice worth the squeeze, right? Like the Canadiens had a miserable year. I'll put my hand up. I'll openly admit that I'm glad the season is over as of Friday, okay? It's been a slog. It's been filled with drama. Thanks to Martin St. Louis, he saved the season, really. But this team started with a 5-game losing streak, right? They lost 11 in a row. They lost 9 in a row. They lost 7 in a row. So many injuries, so many underperforming players on this team. Like, I'm glad it's over. I'm glad it ends on Friday with a home game to the Florida Panthers, right? But here's the thing. I know time is going to tell us whether or not the juice was worth the squeeze. We only have the luxury of time to find out for real, okay? Because we need to know, who they're going to draft. They have so many picks in the first 40 picks this year. We still need to know what the future is going to have in store. But why I'm comfortable telling you today that, yes, I do believe the juice was worth the squeeze, that this miserable season was for naught, even if they don't end up with the number one pick, and let's say they draft third in July. In 33 games under Martin St. Louis' watch, are you ready for some of these numbers? February 10th is when Martin St. Louis took over. Can you remember the Canes get curb stomped by New Jersey 7-1? They can Dominic Ducharme right away, fired off the bye week, right? Insert Martin St. Louis. Cole Caulfield right away delivers under Martin St. Louis' watch. Cole Caulfield, 32 points in 33 games with Martin St. Louis. Cole Caulfield, in 33 games with Martin St. Louis, scored 19 goals. 19 goals in 30 and 32 points. Nick Suzuki, since Martin St. Louis took over, 33 games, 33 points. Nick Suzuki is a point-a-game player for almost half a season with Martin St. Louis, and Cole Caulfield scored 19 goals in 33 games with Martin St. Louis as his head coach. So, yes, the juice was worth the squeeze because you figured stuff out. Like, can you imagine this in the hypothetical world, right, where the organization says, you know what, we don't have a coach lined up. We know we're bad. Let's just ride it out, guys. Let's just ride the season out. Dominic Ducharme stays as the bench boss of the Montreal Canadiens, and they sort out the coaching situation in the offseason. Let's play pretend for a microsecond. Cole Caulfield was in the minor leagues, guys. Cole Caulfield was a Laval Rocket player. Nick Suzuki was lost. Jeff Petrie was checked out. Injuries left, right, and center. And then they decide after the 7-1 drubbing to the Devils that they need to cut bait now. And they fired Ducharme, and the rest is history. Suzuki's a point-a-game player. Caulfield scored 19 goals in 33 games under Martin St. Louis. It's crazy. It's crazy that this actually took place this year with this organization. It's wild to me. And look, I hope Martin St. Louis is back next year and that they give him a contract and that maybe he is the future behind the bench for the organization. And look, I like Martin St. Louis, but I'm not an idiot. Like, I understand he's not perfect. I understand the Canadiens still got whooped and still look, with Martin St. Louis, they still lost 9 games in a row, guys. Okay, so they're far from perfect. But here's the thing about Martin St. Louis. Remember, when he was introduced at his first press conference, he talked about, I'm not really a big systems guy, I'm more like roll with the punches, let the guys flow, let the guys breathe, right? And that's fine. I like that. But I honestly believe that only works for so long. NHL players at this level, at the pro level, need a system. They need a rigid system. They need structure. And it's fine, in my mind, today and even next year even, that Martin St. Louis lets him go. Lets Josh Anderson figure out how to be different. Let Brendan Gallagher give goaltenders another look to his game. Be diverse. And the only way to do that is by experimenting and letting guys have the opportunity to figure things out on the fly, right? And then ultimately, I think once you're set up, once you feel that your prospects are growing, that your star players are evolving and getting better and becoming true star players, then we can talk about structure. We could talk about a rigid system. But I'll tell you, as someone that's been watching the Montreal Canadiens from a media perspective for 20 years, someone that's been watching the Montreal Canadiens, that I remember watching the Montreal Canadiens since I was, I guess, 8 years old in 1986. So yeah, I've been watching the Montreal Canadiens for 35 years. Some of you watching me right now have watched it longer than I have, and you know more about hockey than I do. But I know this for a fact, and I believe this with my heart, that my entire life has been spent watching goalies be the star of this franchise. Like, we were talking the other day about who, and think about this. Who are the best Montreal Canadian players you have ever seen in your lifetime? Maurice Richard, unless you're my grandfather's age and you're in your 90s, Maurice Richard doesn't count. Guy Lafleur counts for sure. There's people watching me right now that watch Guy Lafleur play. But speaking for myself as a 43-year-old Montrealer, 2 of my 3 answers as far as the top 3 players I've ever seen with my life are goalies. Patrick Waugh, Carey Price, and Andrei Markov. Those are the 3 best Montreal Canadian players I've seen with my eyes, okay? Honorable mention PK Subban, Saku Koivu, Alex Kovalev. But my point is, 2 of the 3 guys are goaltenders. So I'm here to say that if Martin St. Louis wants Cole Caulfield to breathe and wants Suzuki to evolve as a playmaking, point-producing number 1 center, and he wants Josh Anderson to be more than just a one-dimensional player who just drops his shoulder, maybe he can have different looks and bring different looks to his game. I want Martin St. Louis to let these guys go. I am happy to sacrifice structure for creativity and offense. And so I'm ready to think that next year will be very much like this year, in that they're not going to be competitive. Maybe they'll be fun to watch and entertaining to watch. You hope that's the case. But nevertheless, it is about figuring things out, modernizing the Montreal Canadiens. And we'll see what happens. And look, the news isn't great. I don't know what's going to happen with Carey Price. We told you this week that he was going to New York to see the doctor. He saw the doctor yesterday, and he's still day to day. I do feel for Carey Price. Legitimately, I do. I feel for him because I can't imagine how tough it must be for him mentally to go through this stuff, right? Like the setbacks. Like at the end of the day, don't think about this with money. Don't think about it as it relates financially. Think about him as a player, as a competitor, as an athlete, right? And even regardless of what level you played, I'm sure you can relate to this. Think about, you're playing organized hockey with your buds, right? And you're hurt. You're an older guy, and you're hurt, and you're banged up. And you remember when you were 20 years old how easily it was to recover and rehab from an injury. Like you slept on it and you were good to come back the very next day. Remember those days, guys? Man, those are good days. Carey Price is an older guy. I'm an older guy. You're older. We're all older. We all take more time to recover physically from setbacks. And especially for a goaltender whose knees take the biggest beating of any part of this guy's body. Practice, games, repeat for your life. And he wants to play, and he wants to get back. I've been telling you all season that Carey Price has been working his ass off to get back. Shows you how tough this guy is mentally, right? That he works so hard to get back to just the chance to play. And he did. And he wanted to test himself by playing in consecutive games for the first time since the Stanley Cup final. And he got pumped. He gave up 16 goals in 4 games. Not good. And looked and was regressing before he ultimately had to go to New York and speak to the doctor who worked on him last summer. So I feel for him, knowing that he wanted to work his tail off to get back. He did it. And then he wanted to test his body, and ultimately that test was a failure. And I feel bad for him because you're an athlete and you have a lot of confidence and a lot of belief in your skill set. And you failed and you had a setback. No fault of his own. Unless he did something stupid that I don't know about. But just the toll on this guy's body, it's a brutal spot to be in. And it's going to take some wild maneuvering and negotiating if Carey Price wants to leave. I don't know. This is another completely different ball of wax that Ken Hughes and Jeff Gordon are going to have to figure out together. The one thing I do like about this, and I like about other players, that none of these guys that we're talking about, whether it's a Price, a Gallagher, or anybody else, none of these are Jeff Gordon, Ken Hughes guys. There's no sense of loyalty. These are all Bergevin guys in contracts that he signed, right? So interesting stuff. Lots of comments coming in. Damon Perron, Patrick Waugh, best player. Yeah, Patrick. I think, if we're all in the same age category, like late 20s, early 40s in that demographic, Patrick Waugh is arguably the best Canadiens player you've ever seen. Roberto, this team needs a philosophy change, good scores, and move on from Carey Price. It's easier said than done, man. Like, I don't know how the only way you move away from Carey Price is, one, Carey Price says, get me out of here for whatever reason. And then secondly, are we talking dead cap money for how long? You're willing to absorb $5 million in dead cap money, $3.8 million in dead cap money just to get Carey Price off the books. And then what's your team going to look like? What's your team going to look like? You need a goalie. Look at all these teams that have rebuilt and have star players and that don't have goalies. They have zero success. The Buffalo Sabres are a goalie away. Mike Smith, the Oilers are riding with Mike Smith, guys. Like they got Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. Evander Kane has been a beast for the Oilers since he joined them. But they got Mike Smith. How comfortable are you with that? Imagine the hypothetical where the Montreal Canadiens turn the corner and everybody's hitting on their production. Suzuki's great. Caulfield's great. Caden Gooley, Joshua Raw, Logan Mailloux, all these guys turn in and turn into really good players, reliable players. But you don't have a goalie. Caden Primo's your goalie. Maybe he's mediocre. Right? How many of you are saying, get Carey Price out of here? Wish you had Carey Price. Carey Price carried the Montreal Canadiens to the Stanley Cup final last year. Let's not forget that. And everything hinges on this guy, having a healthy season. More from Roberto. Stefan Waite said it on TSN 690. Carey Price needs to play with pain and injuries to keep playing. Absolutely. Great point, Roberto. Stefan Waite said after he was fired, Carey Price will never be healthy again. So, yeah, managing the pain and dealing with that is going to be something that will plague him for his entire career. Jocelyn Phillip, what up, Joss? Why, Sean, do you, as the only broadcaster on TSN 690, mentions PK? All the rest seem to forget about him. Je sais pas, Jocelyn, je sais pas. Je peux pas répondre pour les autres en ondes sur TSN 690. Moi, je suis un partisan du Canadien. J'adore Piqué Subban. C'est un des meilleurs joueurs du Canadien que j'ai jamais vu jouer pour les Canadiens. Puis, je sais pas. It's this thing, man, It's this thing in this market. You got to pick a side, guys. You got to pick a side, I like Shea Weber. I think Shea Weber is a very good Canadian. I like PK Subban more. I think PK Subban was a lot of different people's favorite player. I think I've called him a 1% player before. And 1% I mean by in the tightest moments of a game, in these must-win scenarios, right, where you can't afford to make a mistake. I want PK on the ice. That's how I feel about PK, and I've always felt that way. And you got to pick a side. And the PK deal, man, upset a lot of people, and it still lingers, right? And I understand Shea Weber is a polarizing player for some, especially this week with the whole Guy Lafleur passing and the questions. I know I've raised them several times this week. Where was Shea Weber? Why wasn't he here? Should he have been here? And many people have pointed out, correctly so, we don't know all the details. Like, we don't know every detail about Shea Weber's life. And I think ultimately, if we're going to talk about Shea Weber and why wasn't he here to be with his teammates, I think ultimately I'm going to point the finger at the Canadians and say, you could have handled this a little bit better. Communication is everything, man. You want to eliminate skepticism. You want to eliminate gossip and rumors. You come out and you be truthful and you tell people. You tell people what's going on. Shea Weber is going to be here tomorrow. He's going to see a doctor in Brossard on Saturday. I hope Shea Weber is here for the funeral on Tuesday. Guy Lafleur is going to lay in rest at the Bell Center Sunday and Monday. So public visitation, if you want to go pay tribute to Guy Lafleur, you're allowed to do that Sunday, Monday at the Montreal Forum at the Bell Center. And the funeral will be at the Mary Queen of the World Cathedral here downtown on Tuesday. And I hope, unless Shea Weber has other plans or whatever else, but I hope he's here. I think it's the right thing to do. I was always taught, and I don't want to devote a lot of time to Shea Weber not being here, but I was always taught that the captain of the Montreal Canadiens is a very special thing. It's a very special thing. It comes with honor. It comes with tradition. It comes with respect. It comes with responsibilities and expectations. So, I don't think for a second that if Shea Weber, hypothetically speaking, was here last week, that would have taken away from Guy Lafleur's tributes or anything of that. I don't. I really don't. I think the Montreal Canadiens are one of the best organizations at controlling the message in the league.
Really like the small bedroom. Very impressive.
In the palm of their hands. And they could have controlled the Shea Weber's here to pay respect to Guy Lafleur and to be with his teammates. Now's not the time to talk. The postmortem is on Saturday. Shea Weber will talk then. Very easy to do. You avoid all this shit. Very easy to do. But nevertheless, we're here. I'm going to be fascinated to see what's going on. Jocelyn Philippe, comment ça va, Jocelyn? Kudos to you for being honest. Always enjoyed your comments. Keep up the good work. Merci beaucoup, Jocelyn. C'est super fin. Thank you to everybody that took the time to write in and comment on the pod as we're here on YouTube and Facebook. Throw us a subscription or a like. I don't know. You know, thanks for watching. You know what I mean? Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for always supporting TSN 690 and the people that talk to you through the radio, such as myself, my partner, Connor McKenna, and others, right? And it's been a lot of fun doing this throughout the course of the Montreal Canadiens season. A huge shout out to my sponsors, my loyal sponsors. I thank you from the bottom of my heart for trusting me and supporting me. Talking to you, Stephen Coors at Poutineville, Vaudreuil-Dorion, who's been riding and dying with me from the get-go here. Poutineville, Vaudreuil-Dorion open today. It is Thursday, open today through Saturday. Looking forward to that. I hear through rumors that exciting things are coming, new projects. I have details, I just can't tell you. But exciting things are coming. Keep it locked here. And of course, my friends at K-Stop Gas Bar and Depanneur, Frank Jr., Donna, the wonderful McCumber family, proud sponsors of the 3-Star Quiz. It is the #1 gas station and Depanneur. I keep telling you all about it. Gas 24/7, cheaper than anywhere else. They have a gas jockey there. Make sure you tip, please, 24/7. And of course, freshly prepared meals, smoothies, salad bowls, a great convenience store with fun snacks, unique snacks that you're unlikely to find at other Depanneurs. So hit them up. They're Highway 138 in Ganawage. You can't miss them. Let me see. Come off the bridge. There's a light, and it's the third light. Third light. Make a right. You can't miss it. K-Stop Gas Bar and Depanneur. You're going to see the big sign on all the gas station pups, and they are my favorites out in Ganawage, right before Shadowgates. K-Stop Gas Bar and Depanneur, Highway 138. So yeah, we have lots of exciting things to come. Personally speaking, I'm very excited about my golf season. The Kanawaki Golf Club, what it do, baby? We are back on Friday. So I've got tee times Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I know you guys are very excited about my golf season, and I will be sharing lots of details about that. And don't forget, tomorrow morning, bright and early, 6 a.m., Connor McKenna and yours truly will bring you the always fun Friday morning show. It is NFL Draft Day today, too. How awesome is that? Some guy scared the shit out of me. Oh, my gosh. I don't know who this is. Some guy with his wife, and they're pointing at, oh, my God, I almost got a mini heart attack. But nevertheless, it is NFL Draft Day today. I'm excited for it, but doesn't move the needle that much. Edge rushers. Who's going to be the first quarterback going? Do you guys have an idea who the first QB going? I'm going Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett will be the first quarterback chosen. A lot of people have Malik Willis, maybe going to Carolina. That would be a top 10 pick. That's a tough one for me. Should be fun. Nevertheless, to see. But yeah, we're not getting. Remember the 2021 Trevor Lawrence, who went second? Zach Wilson went second. Trey Lance went third. Jamar Chase, Kyle Pitts, Jalen Waddle. Man, that was a draft. Now that was a draft. So maybe we'll see some surprises. Maybe the Jags do something wonky today. Who knows? But nevertheless, enjoy it, NFL fans. I know I've got a lot of you watching. And don't forget, you can always bet the NFL draft over at Mizosha.com. Okay, guys, have yourself a great Thursday and an even better Friday. Wish me luck. Tomorrow's my first round here in